always wanted to be a hand model, and finally I get to be one. Today we're going to be talking about pros and cons, creating a pros and cons worksheet. The best way to do it is to get a piece of paper, and you're going to take a line, put it right down the middle, and then take a line and put it closer to the top. And if you want to, you can write out the pros and cons. Now, a pro is something that is a good reason to do something, while a con is maybe something that's not as good about it or that's a negative about it. So let's suppose that you're trying to compare whether to go to a state school, and we'll just say Colorado State University, since that's one in my state. Or you have a chance to go to, let's say, Juilliard. So you'll list some of the pros and cons of each to kind of give you a chart that you can compare. So maybe as a Colorado resident, one of the pros of going to CSU is that it's cheap, it's close to home. I mean, it's possible that could be a con for you. It depends on what you're trying to do. Cheap, close to home. Maybe my friends are going there. Some of the cons are maybe I don't like the city it's in. Maybe they don't have the major I want. Maybe the con is that it's close to home. For Juilliard, it might be that I have top-notch teachers. Maybe it's an eclectic environment, meaning there's a lot of different kinds of people who go there. A pro might be that it's far from home. It all depends on what is important to you. The goal of the pros and cons worksheet is to give you a comparison of what are some of the good things and some of the bad things, because sometimes it will jump out to you what is going to work out better. Maybe some of the cons are that it's far from home. Maybe a con is that you're not going to pass the audition to get in. Maybe you don't like the instructor or don't like their style. I'll make it a little bit nicer. Don't like the style of the person who's going to be your main teacher. Then the goal of this is you look at these pros and cons, and then you have to figure out, once again, for you, what's going to work best. Let's suppose, for example, Juilliard is going to be expensive. So then you rate all of these things on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being something that's very important to you, and 1 being something that's not that important to you. So for example, let's suppose that cheap is something that's very important to you. So you might put a 10 by that. Maybe being close to home is not that important to you, and you would put a 3 by that. So you go through and rate these things all throughout this list, and then you're able to make a more informed decision about what's going to work for you. You might also get some input from mentors. Find people who can help you go through this process. Maybe you do it yourself and you fill out the sheet first, and then have a friend, an older friend or family member, go through it with you, because maybe there are some things you didn't think about that they're able to think about. If you do a pros and cons worksheet like this, it will help you to make a better decision about moving forward.